welcome to HQ. A few years ago at GRASSMEN we embarked on a journey with a very infamous 4755 through yourselves and obviously Trimble. We put a very sophisticated kit into that tractor to show that it could be done. Fast forward a few years and we've added a 6910 to our fleet, a very infamous tractor, but still 23 years old at this point. Yep. And we asked you guys about maybe a little bit more of a simpler system. We didn't feel we needed to just go to the efforts we went to. So this is what you do. You sell this stuff, you talk about this stuff, you work for Vantage, General Manager, I do believe.
Yeah,
or something along those lines. Tell us a little bit about what you do, a little bit about Vantage, and a little bit about the system that we've put in this 6910.
Yeah, so I suppose at Vantage we're the main Trimble resellers in the country. So we're selling the Trimble product directly to customers and to dealers throughout the country. So we're covering the 32 counties.
A 6910, this size of a tractor, we're thinking more rowing duties, tearing duties, you know, possibly fertiliser sowing, more like a livestock kind of machine. So when we spoke to you, you then said you need to look at our new, and I don't remember numbers, so what's in this tractor?
So in this we've fitted the GFX-350 display and nav 500 receiver. So I suppose the beauty about that system, you can buy it as a bog standard system with just manual guidance and you can add everything else onto it afterwards. So in this case here we've added on, you have your Isobus unlock for controlling an Isobus implement and also EasyPilot Pro steering. So I suppose both tractors here are able to steer to the same level of accuracy.
And this 350 is, obviously there's a little bit of preparation work, is fairly easy to transfer.
On your 350 display you can save your tractors on it and save your implements on it and save your fields. So if you want to swap that between tractors, we're saving each tractor profile on the system so it's very easily transferred between vehicles. Everything is set up on it from the start and saved on the system.
Is that a new thing in the 350?
On, I suppose, our 350 and our GFX-750 display, they're working on PIQ software, so that's possible through the PIQ software.
So the very basics in this is a basic system with the steering added.
Yeah.
And then other functions, as and when needed, can be unlocked, etc. So you're talking, in relative terms, the very basic system as it stands, it's around £2,000. It's not, that's sterling, it's not mental money to get up and running.
No, not for that unit that can be added on to going forward.
But if we wanted to go, we could transfer it over to another tractor, a very modern tractor, and with all the Isobus and add all the wee bits on, so we could have it, you know, so I like the idea of that.
And I suppose that's where you'll knock full value out of the system. If you're using different tractors at different times of the year, you can swap the one unit between tractors.
When you said there about dealers, so this 350, in theory we could ring up our local dealer, get one bought, and he in theory should be able to come out, for an easy terminology, lash it in without too much hassle.
Yeah.
Simple as. Doesn't require you with your team following it around everywhere, you know.
No, like they're a simple unit to install. Because our dealers installed them, we installed them for customers dealing directly with us. And with everything, like we have 2-year warranty and 2-year support. And the beauty of that screen, and in both screens, in your TMX as well and the 47, we can remotely log into them screens through TeamViewer. So we could log into, if you were out in the field, we could log into the screen in that tractor, we can control the screen, we can get all the diagnostic logs and that off the screen for your steering. So, you know, support isn't an issue anymore, you're not waiting in the field for someone to come out to you.
So just talk us through the process. So Kendrick arrived yesterday, he was reached an absolutely lovely 6910 John Deere, you know, fresh, and I looked around the corner a couple of hours later and I had to ask, was that a 6910 or what was it? So there was a little bit of prep work.
Yeah.
And I think with his background he was enjoying destructing a John Deere, but we'll not get into that. So what all did he do? In
this case, in terms of installing the base unit, so your screen and receiver, it's basically mounting your screen in the cab, a cable up to your nav 500 on the roof of the tractor, and then power from the battery in the tractor to the screen inside it. In this case then we then added on your EasyPilot Pro steering, which is the electric steering wheel. So we have to bring a cable from that steering wheel up to the nav 900 on the roof. So I suppose it looked messy yesterday, but in theory it's not a complicated system to fit. Once that's there, off to the field, he went to do what? Once the system was installed, off out to the field to calibrate the tractor. So I suppose we had to ensure it was performing on the line, performing to that level of accuracy, and you always have to make tweaks in different settings on the screen to ensure it is performing that way. So it took, as you saw yesterday, it probably took 20 minutes or half an hour out in the field, just running up and down the field and marking different points.
Is that a one-time gig on a new tractor?
Yeah, that's a one-time gig.
To your fit point, so if we decided to cross over, use that between different tractors, once I plug in that I'm in the new tractor, a different tractor, that'll pick up and all of that in theory.
Yeah, so I suppose once your nav 500 or your nav 900 are mounted on the roof of the tractor, once that position doesn't move, you won't have to calibrate the tractor after that. So I suppose that's why we're selling quick release brackets for the nav. When you're swapping it between tractors, that there's no fear of it being moved on the roof of the tractor. So then it's only a matter of swapping the kit over. Inside in the screen, you click on what tractor you're in, and all the settings are pre-saved on it.
So I step up into that tractor for the first time. How difficult is it for me to create an AB line? Just a straightforward AB line. I want to be a certain distance width. I'm not getting too delicate about field mapping or anything. I just want a straight AB line. How quick could I take that to the field, get my AB line in and get working? Because most people that I'm chatting to are still just using an AB line.
Yeah, and people are, and I suppose with this you can be as complicated or as straightforward as you want with it. You can use this and just have your AB line, or you can use this system and save all your fields, save what fertiliser, what inputs are going to the field throughout the year, and have record of that. But in terms of for you to sit up in the tractor and set an AB line out in the field, everything is preset. So your tractor measurements are preset, your implement is already set up on it. Basically, once you drive into the field, you have different options as to whether you want to create a headland pattern, which is mapping your field, or a straight AB. So you click on your straight AB, click A, you drive over 10 metres and click point B, and job done. So
there you go.
And straight line, and you have your paint function. In this, we've fitted a remote engage switch to engage your auto steer, so you're not reaching forward pressing the screen. You have a nice tidy switch next to the gears in the tractor. Like, it's very simple. Once you click Precision IQ, it brings you into your main home screen, which will have everything set up on it already. So it'll have your tractor and your implements and that set up. Clicking the run button and you're into your field mapping then, let's say, and that's where you set your A and your B point.
Button at the back of the screen switch on, Precision IQ from the menu, and then about 3 to 4 button presses maximum and we're gone.
And you're gone.
4 to 5 finger touch processed to be doing a straight line from switch off.
It's that simple.
How big a job would it be to fire that now into, say, the 820 or the 76, just out of curiosity, roughly?
Not a big job. Like, if we had a second set of cables, so if you had your harnesses in the second tractor, you'd have them swapped over in 20 minutes.
So if I went out and had a breakdown, so I had my harnesses in, I had a breakdown in this tractor, I needed to run to my TM. What are we talking?
You're talking 5-10 minutes. If it was a matter of swapping the system from manual guidance onto a second tractor, it's a matter of minutes. You can go down the route with that as well, of the power cable that plugs into the cigarette lighter or the 3-pin plug inside in the tractor. So again, that's quicker again than ripping cables or doing anything like it. So
get that up onto the roof, for want of a better word, get a bit of power down to that there and you can follow a straight line. But if you want the tractor to do the steering, well then that's a little bit.
It's a little bit more complicated.
Thanks very much for calling up.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure to be working with you again.
Hopefully you'll get on well with it.
Well, we should do. Thank you.